a little bit of drama ensued at Bellator vs. RIZIN / Super RIZIN 2 over the weekend. Look, the Pitbull brothers went 1-1 in one of the biggest upsets in, I would say, 2023 in the world of mixed martial arts and combat sports. Suzuki defeated Patricio Pitbull, who's the minus 550 favorite, and not only defeated him, knocked him the f out in the first round. Both of those fighters took the fight on short notice, so it wasn't like one of them had the edge over the other. Both of them were training, fought at a catch weight, I believe 5 to 10 pounds heavier. Before they fought, the last fight before the big intermission, before the 3 title fights at the top of the Super RIZIN card, to headline Bellator vs. RIZIN, upon AJ McKee having to pull out due to injury, RIZIN star former champion Roberto de Souza, the Brazilian and Japanese jiu-jitsu stud, joined the Bellator Grand Prix last minute, 4 days notice to take on Patricky Pitbull, Patricio's older brother, to save the main event of that Bellator vs. RIZIN card. And it was a shame because the co-main event, ended in a no contest due to an eye poke. And the fights leading up to it weren't that exciting either. Obviously, AJ McKee and Patricky was the fight that everyone wanted to see. But Roberto de Souza, no slouch, and he's a very, very good fighter as well. Unfortunately, 4 days notice wasn't enough for him to bring his A game. He didn't look good at all out there, and Patricky ended up putting him away in the 3rd round, but right in the beginning of the 3rd round, picking apart those legs and actually dropped him with a leg kick to end that one. We'll check out the highlights here in a sec. The older of the Pitbull brothers, 17 knockouts in his career and a Bellator loyal. He advances, by the way, to the quarterfinals of the Bellator lightweight Grand Prix. What a streak between 2017 and 2019. And again, just to validate Roberto de Souza, he was the favorite, by the way. De Souza taking the fight on 4 days notice was the favorite, and I called it during that stream. I said that was a slap in the face to Pitbull. That's a disgrace. That is so disrespectful to Patricky. I mean, make it at least even. But I guess everyone was scared that de Souza was going to be able to take him to the ground, and you know what? He tried to pull guard a couple times. Patricky, just in Pitbull fashion, just beat him up via ground and pound in his guard. As you can see here, de Souza, 4 KO TKO, 10 submission, 1 decision, 8-1 in RIZIN, 0-2 in Bellator. He lost to AJ McKee and Patricky Pitbull. AJ McKee took him the distance. Patricky Pitbull finished him in the 3rd round. Again, de Souza didn't look like he was in fighting shape. Let's just say that. Where the drama comes from, because you guys might be asking me, okay, yeah, these guys fought. Where are you going with this? Later that evening, ladies and gentlemen, Patricio, that's right, Patricio, after getting knocked out, after losing on the Super RIZIN 2 card, he ends up tweeting this. Kleber Koike Erbst is a dirt loser and a coward. He celebrated my loss and argued with my brother after the fight. Later, he invaded our locker room, kicked Patricky from behind, and ran away. RIZIN, a fighter like this should never enter your ring again. And he also tagged Bellator. So apparently, a teammate of de Souza, the fighter who actually got his title stripped from him in the last RIZIN event, RIZIN 43, he got his title stripped because he missed weight in his title fight against, ironically enough, the man who knocked out Patricio on this night, Mikuru Suzuki, the young kickboxing and now MMA prospect. I guess he's not a prospect in kickboxing. He's an established kickboxer, clearly. He's got power in those mitts, but he is an MMA prospect. Oh, the irony in this. How Kleber Koike Erbst was there to support his teammate de Souza. I didn't know that there was beef before this. Apparently, there's beef between the Pitbull camp and I guess just Kleber Koike Erbst, as there looked like there was a good display of respect between Patricky and de Souza after their fight, after Patricky beat him. But apparently, the beef stems from this. Patricio beat Erbst at Bellator vs. RIZIN 1.
Oh, Pitbull. Judge Toyota. Oh.
And days leading up to this, as soon as de Souza basically took the fight, Erbst was talking so much on his YouTube channel towards the brothers days before the fight. So a lot of taunting going on, and then coming into the room after Patricio loses. So again, the Pitbulls went 1-1 on the card here, and not necessarily sucker punches, but sucker kicks. I know this is RIZIN, we're supposed to have soccer kicks, not sucker kicks, but he kicked Patricky from behind. Here's an article from MMA Fighting. Let's bring that up here, and they had a little bit more to report on this, as one of them was able to interview the Pitbull brothers. All right, here we go. So this is the quote from Patricky's talking here. Patricky's the one who's giving the quote here. He was talking crap on YouTube, on his YouTube channel 3 to 4 days ago, and I was pissed. But Patricio told me to ignore it and don't give him attention. Patricky said, I was not in Patricio's corner, and from where I was, I saw him walk by all dressed up. He was looking, he had a bunch of swag that night, I will say. Erbst, you know, he was looking good. I imagine he would talk trash at Patricio if he won or something like that. When Patricio lost, again to Suzuki, I looked at him and he was jumping, laughing, and celebrating. I ran into the ring to check on Patricio and then went to the other corner to say to Erbst, you're a f***ing asshole. I'll beat you up. And he started playing victim. There is some pictures on Twitter as well on that thread that show some posted pictures, you know, from their phones of them like beefing, getting all up in each other's face. Patricky continues to say, when I was leaving the ring, I went to Erbst's corner and said, you're a f***ing coward. He was like, me? Me? What did I do? I said, you're talking shit online about us, you asshole, and put both hands on his chest and left. Roberto Satoshi, that's D'Souza, in the hallway and said, I like you, but Kleber's a coward, celebrating my brother's loss. Satoshi said, yeah, Kleber is a bit complicated. He likes to do stuff like that. I said, tell him if he wants to talk shit, come talk to us face to face. Don't act like a coward. He then proceeds to say, I went to the locker room. I was sitting down with my back to the door watching fights, and then one of the coaches alerted me. When I looked back, Erbst was already jumping with a kick to my chest. A fucking brawl started in the locker room. This is some Pride FC shit. This is like some Vanderlei Silva crazy horse type shit, guys. But he ran away. More than 30 people in the locker room. We tried finding him in other rooms, but he ran away, left home. Unbelievable. That's crazy, man. This is the third round. He's piecing up his legs for most of the round. He was out grappling him. Not even out grappling him, but like weathering the storm quite well was Patricky.
He's tried to shoot a couple of times.
He's down. Yeah, he's in trouble.
Girls up there. I said when we were talking about the story right in the beginning that D'Souza took this on 4 days notice. He lasted to the beginning of the third round. This was slated for 5, and he just didn't look himself. He looked sloppy, and if he was in shape, had a full camp, was ready for this fight, I think he still might have been dropped with that leg. I don't think he would have crumbled at that point, let's just say. Not to say that he was looking for a way out. This fight ended quicker than it would have if there was more on the line there for D'Souza rather than just, you know, saving the card. So anyway, so that's what took down D'Souza, and after the fight, both of them hugged it out, and you even saw in Patricky's quote there, he did say, you know, they talked backstage too, and there's no beef between them. Now, again, one of the biggest upsets in MMA this year, Patricio Pitbull against Chihiro Suzuki. Now, Suzuki, I get it. They both took this fight on short notice. Suzuki's younger, maybe a little bit more fresh, but no one expected him to win this way. I certainly did not expect Patricio to get knocked out. Patricio doesn't really get knocked out, folks. 2 TKOs in his entire career. He's only lost to Chihiro Suzuki. Oh, okay, yeah, Benson Henderson. There it is. That wasn't a knockout. That was a leg injury. My goodness, what an absolute stud. That just shows how much power Suzuki has. And again, him and his brother are unbelievable. Him and his older brother are unbelievable kickboxers. Suzuki, only 24 years old, coming off a loss to, again, Kleber Koike Erbst. It was supposed to be a title fight. Erbst missed weight, so it turned out to be a no contest either way. But check it out here. I think this shot hurts him originally. And here's the combo. Boom! Drops him. And he was gonna finish with another shot as well. Let's take a look at it here. So this was the first shot that hurt him. So again, it just kind of grazed him, but that's what kind of sent Patricio backwards. Take a look. Just kind of grazed his temple there, but look, he was a little rocked because he went for a takedown, and I'm like, okay. Usually he just stands there and brawls. But I didn't think he was that hurt. Because look, lands a beautiful left hook there. Combo. Dude, Suzuki, though he's swinging like a madman, he is finishing his combos. Boom. Beautiful right. And look, he had that left waiting right there. And Patricio goes down. One more shot. Well, I guess 2 more for good measure. And this is the biggest win of Suzuki's career. This is the biggest win of Suzuki's career, guys. Let's take a look at it one more time. And again, he's the only fighter to ever knock out Patricio Pitbull. Kid might be one of the best Japanese prospects out there right now. And his older brother, not an MMA guy, but a very talented kickboxer as well. Oh my goodness. Here it is, here it is. Looks like he almost grazed the temple there as well. Boom! Good night, Jim Kite. I mentioned the record of Erbst. Let's just take a look at it here quickly. His resume. 31-6-1, 33 years old, 2 KO, TKO, 27 submissions, 2 decisions, 5-2 in KSW, 6-0 in RIZIN, 0-1 in Bellator, getting lost to Patricio Pitbull, Bellator versus RIZIN, 1, no contest, even though he submitted Chiro Suzuki, who just knocked out Patricio. Before them was on a hell of a run. Funny enough, his only loss in KSW was to Mateusz Gamrot for the title. After that, got a win in one championship, then has gone on an unbelievable run in RIZIN ever since. Fought a little bit in Rebel, Pancrase, Shudo, Deep. Let me know your thoughts on this drama. Let me know if you think it even compares at all to some of the backstage drama that we've seen in the last few years anyways. I mean, right off the bat, I think, Leon Edwards and Jorge Masvidal, Kevin Holland and Khamzat Chimaev, and then the Diaz brothers in their camp getting involved in that as well. And if we're going way back, dude, I'm thinking Vanderlei Silva, Crazy Horse, the Shudo Box Brawl behind the scenes in Pride. Let me know what are some of your favorite and or notable MMA backstage brawls that you remember. Hell, I mean, this one wasn't backstage, it was in the cage, but it was after a win. The infamous line, sometimes these things happen in MMA, in that Strikeforce brawl between the Diaz camp and Mayhem. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys.